Hey everyone, Effie here. Today I'm going to show you how I made 2 rose blossoms cards. Now this is a continuation from the video that I posted of the tutorial of our rose blossoms layering stencils. And I'll link the video in the description box below. So if you haven't seen that blending tutorial, make sure you head on over there and watch that first and then come back here and watch this video. So this is a continuation and I'm going to turn this blended panel into a finalized card. After I blended all 6 stencils, I'm just going to take the coordinating dies and die cut both edges of my blended panel. Then I'm going to trim a little bit of the non-blended portions of this die cut and then slice this in half to create 2 pieces. I'm going to set those 2 pieces aside and I'm going to do some additional ink blending on a couple of A2 size panels, and I'm using our bright emerald dye ink to blend some of this beautiful bright turquoise color. I'm starting off the blending on one edge, and then I'm going to add some of our lemon drop dye ink to the other or opposite side because I want a nice two-tone blended effect. Then I'm going to blend a second A2 panel, and I'll start it off the same way by blending the bright emerald dye ink. But instead of the lemon drop ink, I'm going to use our bubblegum dye ink for the opposite side so that now we have a turquoise and pink blended panel. Now this is going to serve as the background or backdrop for our sliced die cuts. So here I'm just going to position it over the panels and see how they look. Now what I did at this point was I took the largest die from our pierced double stitched nesting dies, and this is just going to add some piercing details around the edges of my A2 card panels. It's going to give it a little bit of interest. It's going to give it a little bit of a finished look. And at this point, I thought I was just going to place my die cuts over the panels and then add a sentiment and be done with it. But there was something missing. At this point, I didn't realize that I needed an extra step. So I went forward and I placed some dimensional foam tape behind my die cut pieces, and then I applied or adhered the 2 pieces to my blended backgrounds. And I wasn't feeling it at this point. I thought it was a little too plain. So after I adhered the 2 pieces, I trimmed off the excess, thinking, let me just slap on a sentiment. It looks okay, but I wanted to take it to the next level. So I peeled the die cuts off carefully, but it's not a big deal. Those ripped portions that you see on the cardstock, they're going to be covered up by the die cuts. So next step, I'm going to take our modern plaid cling background stamp and do some white heat embossing over my blended panels. Now you don't have to spoon or pour on your embossing powder along that bottom edge where the main blending portions are, because it is going to be covered up, but I just went ahead and embossed them anyway. Once the heat embossing was complete, I re-adhered the die cuts and it just looks fabulous. That white embossing, it looks great. It's subtle texture and it doesn't take away from the overall project. Now I'm going to take some of our Easy Expression stamped die cuts, which I've created in the past, and I'm just going to use them and pop them up onto my cards. And then lastly, to finish off my both cards, I'm going to add some of our enamel dewdrop dots. These are self-adhering and so easy to use and really subtle. They just look like raindrops. So my projects are complete. This is an easy and quick way to make 2 cards using the one blended panel that you created using our new Rose Blossoms layering stencils. I hope you guys enjoyed both projects today. Here's just a quick look at some of the additional blended panels that I created using our beautiful new stencils. I will link all the products I used in the description box below. And if you haven't done so already, be sure to subscribe to our channel because I update it regularly. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.